On Wall Street, markets at record highs as excitement over artificial intelligence drives big-time money into stocks. But that same technology may also be transforming the American workforce. Amazon announcing its largest job cuts in years, eliminating 14,000 corporate positions. In a note to its employees, the company calling AI the most transformative technology we've seen since the internet, adding, "We're convinced that we need to be organized more leanly."
The robot revolution might actually be here. We are starting to see some very troubling signs throughout the economy where we are seeing companies in their peak hiring season all of a sudden shift to layoffs, and it is being reported based on their internal documents that the reason they're moving in this direction is due to the fact that they are investing more in AI, using AI to automate more processes, and this obviously is going to have some devastating effects on certain people in the economy. It's already impacting the coders, the builders of the AI overlords that will soon be dominating all of us. And I think it's important for us to talk about this because while there have been many scares in the past related to new technologies, this feels like it is like no other. And by the way, it could threaten way more jobs than you could have possibly imagined. Now we're going to get into this. We are going to break this down. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
PS also slashing nearly 48,000 workers, citing various circumstances for its moves, including opportunities to invest in certain technologies.
So look, we have heard about AI a lot in recent years, and a lot of people's exposure to the technology has been in weird videos that are meant to fool elderly people into thinking that Africans are building planes out of wood. But in reality, it appears that this technology is not only more serious than the videos and images you're seeing on the internet.com, but it's already starting to impact the workforce, and probably for the first time in a very long time, the impact is directly on the white-collar workers, the upper echelon workers, and this is being reflected in companies like Amazon and also, very troublingly, companies like UPS laying off a massive amount of workers, again, in late October, early November, when typically these companies ramp up hiring, and these workers are being disproportionately laid off in the management positions, in the people that tend to make the company work in terms of directing resources. That appears to be what is being shifted towards artificial intelligence. And by the way, this isn't even the full length and breadth of the layoffs. Amazon has issued a warning that they're looking to downsize even more in terms of these management positions. And in addition to that, Amazon, who already uses robots a lot in order to do the packaging and the logistics within their warehouses, also has plans that have been revealed to show that they're also looking to get rid of those workers. So everybody is going to be impacted by this. A lot of people are going to be struggling for what they're going to do next. And by the way, we're already seeing the impacts all over the economy. Specifically, a lot of people who graduated with software degrees, the people who actually did learn to code, are finding it more and more difficult in order to get positions at these different various companies.
Jensen Huang, CEO of chipmaker NVIDIA, the company at the center of the AI revolution, believes the tech will make people more productive.
My belief is that everyone's jobs will change because of AI. You're not going to lose your job to AI, you're going to lose your job to somebody who uses AI.
The CEO of Salesforce recently said AI helped cut his customer support staff nearly in half, while Microsoft has had thousands of layoffs as the company invested heavily in OpenAI, the developer of ChatGPT.
Now, of course, you have the CEO of NVIDIA saying, look, you're not going to lose your job to AI, you're going to lose your job to somebody using AI. But in reality, if the person using AI that you're going to lose your job to is your employer, you're going to lose your job, is what he's basically selling you on, which means that the jobs that are going to be available are going to be few and far between, and we are likely to see a massive shift in the economy. And a lot of people are saying that AI is the biggest thing since the internet, and we all understand, especially those of us who kind of lived before the internet, the last generation of which I am a part of, that obviously had a significant impact on the world economy. And in fact, my job is not even possible without what was built in the internet age. So yeah, we are looking at a big issue as many companies are not only laying off due to the fact that AI is essentially making jobs superfluous and therefore they need to be cut, or they should be cut in order to improve efficiencies. But we also see that these companies are getting rid of their labor in order to have more capital to invest in developing AI so that they can hire fewer people in the future. So we're seeing a lot of these companies become leaner. They're becoming stronger in terms of the stock market. But if there's going to be massive job layoffs in all these different sectors, we might be headed for some kind of a recession. And I don't exactly know how these companies are going to be sustainable long term if you have significant cuts in people who are employed. Therefore, the demand side of the economy is going to be neglected while they're building up their facilities and whatnot with AI.
The company's co-founder Bill Gates speaking with CNBC about AI's influence.
Although it hasn't been seen in large numbers, over the next several years, there will be some impact on the job market.
A recent report by Indeed found fields like software development and data analytics are the most at risk of losing jobs to AI, while more hands-on careers like nursing and childcare will likely be more protected.
I mean, again, this is obviously devastating for the people who went into software development and whatnot, because one of the things that we are having problems with is the fact that the people who go into software development typically learn skills in their first couple of years in order to build up to be advanced and then be successful down the road, but they're not getting those entry-level positions, and part of the reason why they're not getting them is because those are the most easily replaced right now with AI, but over time it is very likely that almost all those processes will be automated. We are already hearing about them losing customer service personnel due to the fact that they have AI robots. And by the way, I recently called a company to negotiate a bill, and it was like talking to a real person, even though the voice was completely AI, and they could completely adapt to what I was saying. And remember, this technology is only going to get better. Every single day that passes is the worst that it's ever going to be, as this technology is improving, and eventually, if we're not already there, is going to get to the point where the AI can improve upon itself, and then we're basically in Skynet, and we're all going to die due to a robot army, which, by the way, I'm not even joking about that. We got to get into the Elon Musk of it all in just a little bit, but as of right now, they're starting to say that the most protected jobs, or the most secure jobs, are going to be nursing, and things that have to be done in the practical real world. But the fact is, we are also developing robots, and we're hearing about how robot surgeons can be better than regular surgeons, so we don't actually know what people are going to be able to do in the future once the robot revolution equipped with AI actually starts happening. I mean, again, we are not far off from a time, we're already seeing images of robots holding guns, where robots could be replacing our police or our military. I mean, a lot of warfare is already fought with drones, so that's already robotic warfare, and yeah, it is not looking great for this nation and for the world with this AI revolution, because despite what we're being told about how the US is going to lead the way, in reality, even if that is true, it doesn't mean that every American is going to benefit, at least on the employment side, definitely not, from the gains of AI. Now, sure, we might get cheaper products or whatever. More difficult jobs might be made more easy. Maybe the economy is going to adapt as it has done throughout many technological revolutions. But yeah, it's a bit concerning. And that, again, isn't even getting into the robot army thing.
So what they are deciding on is he would get $1 trillion, but only if he meets certain milestones. So one would be about the market value of the company, and that's based on the share price, how much it's valued at. If he gets to $2 trillion, and then there's different sort of milestones all the way up to $8.5 trillion. There's no company out there that is worth $8 or anything above $5 trillion, essentially, at this point. Then there are other product milestones, like $20 million electric vehicles sold. They're only at 8 million right now. So there's just lots of little things of incentives that, yes, they're voting on $1 trillion if he meets those, but that would also be really good for shareholders, too.
So yeah, you heard that right. That is not a typo. That is not a misspeak by this particular news segment. Elon Musk recently got a majority vote to give him $1 trillion over the next decade, I believe, if he builds out the robots and the robots are as successful for Tesla as he's promising. And Elon has described this as a robot army, and how he is afraid, and the reason he was demanding this package is because he thinks that the robot army is going to be so efficient that eventually the company will oust him after he already does this. So he's getting a massive payday. I guess congratulations to him on that. But in reality, if these robots, which by the way are already kind kind of impressive, end up fulfilling the role of a lot of workers around the country, we are looking at a situation where more parts of the economy can be devastated. I mean, there is a reason why in all these sci-fi movies about the future, you see these robots doing construction work and a bunch of other jobs that are done by blue-collar workers, so maybe even those jobs aren't safe. I know South Park said you have to become a plumber. Those are going to be the next people to become billionaires, but in reality, we have no idea how far this is going to go. And again, I'm not joking about this. We might get to the point where we get terminated. Like the Terminator thing might actually happen. We might hit the singularity. It's all over for us. And again, it's already starting. And crazily enough, even though normally it's the low-level workers that get kicked the hardest initially by new industry, it looks like the white-collar, upper echelon, middle management types, those are the ones that are taking the hit because those are the jobs that appear to be the most targetable. And by the way, my wife's a lawyer. She does a lot of paperwork. That is obviously going to be, as AI gets better, more substitutable with AI. So it's absolutely crazy that you're having all these different various people graduating from university with a lot of student loan debt for jobs that might not exist or might exist, but they're being done by AI in the not too distant future. Now, by the way, in addition to all of that, there's also problems with the stock market with this AI boom because it appears that a lot of the stocks are falling, except for a big 7 number of companies, including Nvidia, Microsoft, and some others that are heavily into AI. And it doesn't seem like we're not going into an AI bubble right now at this moment in time, but make no mistake about it, even if those companies are a part of the AI bubble, much in the same way that the dot-com bubble was a thing back in the 90s, that doesn't mean that when that bubble bursts and a recession happens, that the AI is not here to stay. It definitely was true that the internet was 100% here to stay after the dot-com bubble, so we also might be in a situation where we're getting massive layoffs due to AI substituting for work. We have an AI bubble that's building up in the economy that's eventually going to burst, which will trigger even more layoffs. And in order to save money during those recessionary times, companies will push even harder into AI in order to not hire new people, not spend more money, and we could be looking at not only a completely different country, but a completely different world. But of course, I want to know what you guys think about all this down in the comments below. Do you think I'm over-exaggerating? Do you think people are over-exaggerating? Do you still think of AI as the thing that makes goofy videos and it's not really all that big of a deal? Or do you think that the robot revolution is here? We're all gonna die. And honestly, we need to fight back against the machines right now at this moment. The Amish had it right the whole time. Let us go back to the old world. Let us build ourselves a village a la M. Night Shyamalan. Or maybe AI is so good that it could turn bad M. Night Shyamalan movies into good movies. Again, let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. As per usual, if you like the video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on the social media, support me via support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about the AI bloodbath that we might be experiencing in the economy. Till next time.